Hello and welcome back to the Paper Soprano podcast. I am your podcast host, and my name is Heidi, and it's great to see you again. I can see you right now. Turn around. I'm literally right there. Okay, well, that was weird. Bye! How's it going, you guys? How are we today? How's everything? How's life? How's your Friday? If you're listening to this on the day that I post it. Oh, we've got some friends joining us today. We haven't had, we've been missing our barking segment. If you've been in this podcast, this little diary that I've created, if you've been in it since the beginning, you will remember the days in which we've had some pretty extensive dog barking on, we've had like full segments of dog barking. We've had like, I might as well consider them my permanent co-hosts. There's 4 of them if you haven't known that from previous episodes, but yeah, they're not my dogs. They're my landlord's. I live right next to my landlord. And they're very excitable. They bark at pretty much everything. But I personally am not that fazed by it, mainly because I had my parents have 2 large dogs. So my family had 2 large dogs. We have still. I don't know why I'm talking in past tense. They're not mine, though. Like, I don't own them. So we have a German Shepherd and a yellow lab. And before those 2, we actually had another yellow lab that we grew up with. Me and my sisters grew up with. So I'm used to big dogs. Dogs don't really scare me. Like, these dogs can get pretty loud. Like, when you're outside. If you walk outside, forget about it. You're going to get barked at big time, and they kind of jump up on the fence and they get all, riled up. But, it is what it is. So, it is, dogs bark. Sometimes dogs bark. I mean, sometimes all the time dog barks. Like, what am I even saying? Like, I can't even speak English right now. So yeah, how's it going, you guys? If you're listening to this on the day that I post this, you're having a good old-fashioned Friday night, living your life. I am living my best Friday life right now. We had kind of a chill day. I went to work in the morning. Oh, good. Thank God the fridge turned off. We went into work this morning. I had some therapy after work, living for my mental health. I'm here for myself. And after that, I went to the grocery store because I needed to get some quick little items and pick up some things for the weekend and for the week coming up. I hate going grocery shopping on like Saturday. It just sucks. Like, you just can't go because there's just too many people. I'm like, sorry, no thanks. Not gonna do that. But then I came back here and I made some lunch. I taught 1 lesson. I usually teach 3 on Fridays, but 2 of them are bi-weekly. So it just happened to line up that I only had to teach 1 today, which was nice, and it was good. We had a nice little lesson. And then I have something to tell you guys. So I'm probably going to title this episode something about this. Maybe not. I don't know. But I joined a gym again. So we're really here for ourselves lately, ladies. Okay? Like, we're really living it up right now. We're living our best life. I was compelled earlier today just because, I don't know, I just felt compelled. I'm not really into gyms particularly. I was really into them like during my gap year when I was in between Fredonia and Stony Brook. I was really into going to the gym and just, using that as like basically like a placeholder. I don't know. I'm hesitant to go to classes and things like that, although I think I would probably like it. But yeah, I was like just compelled earlier today, and okay, don't judge me. It is a Planet Fitness membership here. I know that's a little bit cringe because, there's like a lot of videos of people at Planet Fitness like doing crazy stuff, like using the equipment wrong and like doing whatever. And they have that whole like, what's that word? Like lunk thing. Like, I don't know if they still do that, but like you can't like make any crazy noise or people like flip out, and it's like a judgment free zone, which is honestly like in theory really cool. But yeah, I don't know. There's always like those one or two people who like do weird crap at the gym and you're like, why? But anyway, so I did that. We are really out there doing that, we're going to the gym. And on a Friday night nonetheless, because guess what? You know what? We're not doing anything else. So, oh, and for anybody who's like concerned because COVID and stuff, I personally think that gyms are one of the like safest places, like safer than grocery stores, safer than, I don't know, malls or things. I don't necessarily know why. I think it's mainly because everybody is super diligent about like wiping the machines. And at this gym that I went to, they have like pretty significant like machine blockage. I don't know how to describe it. They like blocked off certain machines in between. So like there's like one or two treadmills in between each treadmill that's available. So like it's minimum capacity. The whole gym is like you can't have a certain number of people in there. Like obviously it's not max capacity. And then also there's just like tons of space in between you and the other people who are around you, and everybody's required to wear masks the whole time. And you know me, girl, I'm always double masking. You know that whole game. So yeah, I'm not particularly worried about things like that, and I always, at any gym, I will always wash my hands and live my life, hand sanitizer life when I leave. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a fun little thing though, because I don't know. I just think it will be. I was compelled earlier, and when I'm compelled, I'm not going to just not do what I'm compelled to do. So, yeah, I'm a little bit intimidated though, just because I don't necessarily love like the machines, if that makes any sense. I am first and foremost in my like athletic field, my athletic history, I am first and foremost a martial artist, so I don't necessarily use like machines or weights or whatever. I can make my way around stuff, and I actually used to teach a martial fusion class where it was basically like a workout class that incorporated martial arts into working out, but it was kind of aimed at like middle-aged ladies, basically. So like, we used weights, we used stretchy bands, we used medicine balls and all those like typical basic ass gym equipment. And I've definitely like encountered many a exercise. Like I don't necessarily need help with anything. Like I actually also used to do some weight training. Like one of my teachers when I was at karate growing up, he did tons of bodybuilding. Like he was just really into weightlifting, really into bodybuilding. And he taught me how to deadlift. He taught me how to bench press, which I don't like. He also taught me how to, use the squat rack and live my best life there. So I feel pretty confident. It's just that I don't like being looked at, And maybe if I just like force myself to do that multiple times, I'll be more comfortable with the fact that people are inevitably watching me. But like, why do they always do this where the cardio machines, like all the people who are just like chilling, walking on treadmills, people who are on the elliptical, all those things, they're all facing the weights and they're all facing the machines, like the squat rack, they're all facing the mirrors and stuff. Like, why not just put the mirrors on the other side and put the stuff, like, it literally is like you're lifting in front of a whole audience, you know? Ugh. I hate that. I hate all the pressure, you know? Excuse me. But anyway, so yeah, that's the new advancement for today. I'm pretty freaking proud of myself because I don't necessarily like the gym. I'm not a gym person. I don't like love just working out to work out. You know what I mean? Like I usually like working out as a result of an activity, if that makes any sense. Like I like the idea of sports or obviously karate or, you know, kickboxing, martial arts in any form, basically. And I think once I can find some kind of reputable place where I will feel at home there, I will probably nix the gym membership. But for now, I think we're going to have a good freaking time. You know, I'm just going to go there. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be blasting my lessons in my ear. I'm going to be blasting my coachings. I'm going to be blasting my practice sessions that I record so that I can memorize this godforsaken Haydn opera. And yeah, I don't necessarily foresee myself going all the time. Like, I don't think I'm going to try and go before work, and I definitely don't have time during the day. If anything, it's going to be at night or on the weekends. But that's honestly fine, because your girl doesn't have any plans at night or on the weekends. So, we've got time to go to the gym. And, you know, maybe when things start opening up again, and I've got things to do on the weekends, and I've got things to do at night, that will be when school is over, and I won't have too much to do in the mornings and afternoons, you know what I mean? So, I think it'll work out, and I'm kind of like in a good mood about it, you know? I'm just like living my life. Oh my god, I forgot. I was going to talk about this video that I watched today. If you know anything about like YouTube history, I don't know. I don't know why I like stopped there, but I almost said YouTube royalty, which I guess I would consider like Jenna Marbles and like people who were really killing it on YouTube when it first started becoming like a really big thing. YouTube royalty. But if you know who Felix Schellberg is, PewDiePie, he was very popular. He still is super popular. Like, who am I kidding? Super duper popular YouTuber, like killing it, crushing it. He jokes that his audience is like 9-year-olds and now it's like 19-year-olds because he's been here for such a long time. But plays a lot of Minecraft. Like, I'm not super into that kind of thing, but like I still watch because there's just something about his personality. Like, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this human being, and I just see right through it, you know? Like, he addresses it and is like, you know, very down to earth about it. He seems extremely realistic and like humble about a lot of things, and this is one of them. So if you do not know who this person is, just think of him as just like a really big influence on a lot of people, right? So he's super, super popular and doesn't necessarily pander to the audience that he has, which is kind of insane because, you know, it's that whole thing I was talking about like a couple days ago, not weeks ago. Like the whole thing about you don't need to try and do what people want you to do. You just do what you want to do and people will meet you there, or the right people will watch your content and really appreciate it. And I think that's so applicable here because this video of Felix's, this PewDiePie video that came out today entitled I Read a Book. And it is basically about philosophers. Like it's a book on philosophy. The book I think was titled Discourses. Hold on, I'll look it up. It was what was the philosopher? I think it was Epictetus. Epictetus. Am I saying that right? Epictetus. Epictetus. Yeah. So Epictetus, the philosopher, I guess created this book, Discourses and Selected Writings. That's what it was. So Felix is really into philosophy, and I think that's really super interesting, mainly because, like, the dude's a billionaire, I think. He's definitely a millionaire, okay? Like, he's super, super wealthy because of all his success on YouTube. And I think that's really interesting that he chooses to use his platform to talk genuinely, like for real. This guy isn't like Jake Paul or any of these like young kids who are on YouTube like showing off their cars and their houses and, you know, doing prank videos and stupid crap like that. No offense if that's your jam, but sorry, stupid crap like that. He's like using his platform to talk about this Greek philosophy book that he read, and this isn't the first time he's talked about this. Like, if you're interested in this kind of thing at all, even if you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, go watch that video, dude. It came out today, February 26th. It's entitled I Read a Book, and PewDiePie posted it. It's really, really interesting, and he quotes the book a lot. It's kind of like a little presentation on the book and why you should read it, and I'm really inspired to read it. It talks a lot about free will and describing how, like, we don't really have control over things in our lives, and also the things that you claim and the things that you own actually own you, and you're attached to them. Like, even your family, even your friends, like, trying to put ownership in things and like worry about the longevity of those things in your life is basically going to contribute to your downfall eventually, because you're living in fear of like things that are out of your control. Like, your family could all leave you or like get in a car accident and die. You could die today or tomorrow, you know? There's really no control. There's nothing keeping the things in your life. Like, even if you have like a really nice house and it took you years to get it and whatever, you have like mortgages or whatever, it could all go up in flames tomorrow. And that's a possibility. Or like even your car or your pets or whatever, like your clothes, your material things. And he talks about very specific things with certain philosophers and how they're all connected. You know, I think this is really interesting stuff, and I never took a philosophy class. Like, I know some people probably have, and they're like, oh my god, Heidi, duh, like, this is like philosophy 101, get out of here. But I've never taken philosophy. I have very, very limited, almost zero knowledge on like Greek philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle and, you know, Plato and all these people. Like, I have no clue, really. Yeah, dude. I think he referenced, if you know which philosopher I'm talking about, let me know down in the comments, because I've been thinking about this a lot. He referenced a certain dude who, like, I guess there's a famous quote about him being like, oh, this guy was so like detached from worldly things, like if you took hold of his leg, like he would cut it off and like get rid of it, because like he can't be attached to anything, or not, you know, he needs to be free of things. I don't know. There's definitely like a specific person that this was. I know it's not Achilles, but he mentioned Achilles in this video. But it's all those dudes, okay? So it's all those guys. It's really interesting. He talks a lot about, like, he gives a lot of quotes from the book directly, and I think that it's really just a very admirable video to make when you have, let's see, how many followers does he have? Yeah, 109 million subscribers. Just let that number sink in. Felix Schellberg has 109 million subscribers. And he's throwing out books on philosophy. Like, what a platform. What a platform to have, and what a great frickin' way to use it. Like, if you disagree with that, that's your prerogative, but like, I personally feel that that is an excellent way to use your voice and to use your influence. You know what I mean? And I mean, don't get me wrong. He does not make videos like this all the time. Like, this is not the kind of video that he makes like every single day. There's definitely some malarkey out there, like some silliness and, you know, classic Minecraft, like, you know, 9-year-old material. But for us 19-year-olds, for us sophisticated 19-year-olds, we appreciate the philosophy material, or at least I do. So, yeah, dude, go watch that video. I feel like I want to even link it in the bio. If it's not in the bio, just look it up, dude. It's super easy, and it's like a 15-minute video. Like, go watch it. You will not be disappointed. And yeah, man. Ugh, I just can't get over it. I saw that earlier today, and I was literally like just so inspired. Like, I wasn't shocked or anything, because I know that this is the kind of content that he puts out, but very inspiring. I'm happy that there are people who are true to their desires to put things out into the world, you know? Like, he's not trying to pander to get more followers. He doesn't try and, you know, he doesn't promote his stuff and be like, go watch my video, because it's like, he's already there, you know? It would be cringe for him to try and be like promoting his stuff. Like, he's not trying to win anybody over. So I think that's really the epitome of like internet fame, is when, like, you know, you've got a million controversies and people are saying crap about you left and right, and it kind of sucks, and like, whatever. Articles pop up all the time, like, trying to cancel you, but he's just like kind of above that in a way, or at least that way for me. If you disagree, let me know down in the comments, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to change my mind. Like, I just think that he's got a lot of good things to say, and that doesn't go without critique of certain things. Like, I don't agree with absolutely everything that he says, for sure. I don't agree with absolutely anything anybody says, but I find it really nice. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check it out. Let's see. We gotta read. What are we doing? We're talking about books, and we haven't even read yet. Let's see, people. If you're new to the podcast here, welcome. And if you've made it this far and you're new, you are a star. But we have a segment that we're about to embark on here, me and you. And basically, that segment is where we take out this old, stanky book that smells like mothballs and the 1930s, and we read about an old dead white guy, similar to Felix. So I'm basically PewDiePie. But yeah, so we read a minute sketch of great composers. We read an excerpt from this book every day. And yesterday, what did we read about yesterday? I lost my bookmark. Oh, I think it was Pergolesi. Yes, we did. Oh my god, ew! Woo! Nice pick! Okay, so next we have Next, we have Christoph Willibald Gluck. Okay? So, his subtitle here is German Father of French Opera. Love that for him. But I said nice pick because on the left-hand side of each, like, open-faced set of pages is, like, a sketch, like a literal sketch of these composers. And this, first of all, big time lazy eye happening. Whoever drew this did this guy mad dirty. Big time lazy eye happening. And also, you know that thing that you do, like, in the middle of the night, like, you look in the mirror and your eyes are open wide and you're, like, looking at yourself in the mirror and it's dark and you kind of spook yourself because you're, like, staring at your own reflection and it's, like, 3 a.m. and you're, like, you have to, like, smile at yourself in the mirror because you're like, ooh, I'm a little bit scary looking, like, oh, like, you see your reflection and you get spooked. That's what this photo looks like. And if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, like, my sisters and my cousins will know because we've all discussed this. when you wake up at, like, 3 a.m. and you go into the bathroom and you see your own reflection in the mirror and you get, like, spooked for a second and you look at yourself and you smile a little bit and you're like, okay, I'm like a person, like, don't be too scared. Like, because, you never know when you're possessed by a demon. You never know when you're going to get possessed at 3 a.m. by a frickin' demon. Okay? That could happen to you so quick. And you have to just remind yourself that everything's fine. So, that's what this picture reminded me of. So, sorry, this Christoph, that somebody drew you like this. Because it's like a handwritten thing. Or a hand-drawn sketch. Anyway, let's get into it here. So, alright. Christoph Willibald Gluck. Okay, here we go. A record of more than 20 operas, all bad, before his 40th year, could hardly be called a glowing start for the father of opera as Gluck came to be known. Okay, first of all, they're really dragging him right out of the gate. They literally said 20 operas, comma, all bad, comma. But in the course of time, he retrieved himself from the reputation given him by Handel, who said, quote, he knows no more counterpoint than my cook, end quote. By raising himself to the summit of success as opera composer par excellence to 2 empresses. Son of a Bavarian gamekeeper born near Nuremberg on the 2nd of July, 1714, he received rare preparation for the amenities of court life, first in a Jesuit school where he picked up much philosophy, history, and science, in addition to some musical training, then on travels with various noble patrons. During the 10 years he conducted the opera in Vienna, he gave music lessons to the little Princess Marie Antoinette. Oh my god. Who so loved the gruff German, never gruff with her, that almost her first act when she became queen was to summon Gluck to her court at Versailles in 1744. Oh my god. By this time he had already produced The Shepherd King, Orpheus and Eurydice, Alceste, Paris and Helen, characterized by an extreme simplicity compared with Florin Italian models. They drove even Rousseau to the unwilling admission that, quote, opera could be sung in French. All the support his friends could give him, when he was needed in 1776, a rival composer, the Italian Piccini, was pitted against him in a contest to determine which was the better man of music. Le Coin du Roi, in Italian, argued with the Le Coin de la Reine in French. And not until both men had submitted operas on the same subject, Iphigenia in Tauris, and Gluck's had been acclaimed superior, did the excitement die down. It left him more popular than ever. His innovations, such as the introduction of the overture, the subordination of vocal gymnastics into musical effects, The enrichment of the orchestra by adding cymbals and kettle drum, and the increasing of its importance as accompaniment to the voice were all accepted. Iphigenia in Aulis, written in 1774, and Armide, 3 years later, completed the list of 7 operas in the style of simple grandeur upon which his fame rests. Quote, "If the Greeks had a musician, they would have had Gluck." End quote. Love that for him. It has been said, unfortunately, not the Greeks, but the French had him. And what with winning and dining and excesses from which not even his good wife, Marianne Pegrin, could deter him, he grew heavier and more choleric until a stroke carried him off in November 15th of 1787. Dang! Wow. What's choleric? Did he have cholera? Choleric. I need to look this up. This is what happens during this segment, you guys. I just read words that I'm not familiar with and I look them up. Choleric. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's like a personality trait? He grew heavier and more choleric. So maybe it's not to have cholera. I think they're spelled differently. Let's see. Easily moved to often unreasonable or excessive anger. Hot-tempered. Choleric. Okay, hot-tempered. See, where would I be if I didn't have this freaking segment telling me what all these freaking words mean? You know? Choleric. Who would have thunk it? Probably a lot of people. Like, if you do crosswords, you're probably like, what the hell? You don't know what choleric means? But guess what, girl? I do not do crosswords, okay? I do not do any of that stuff, clearly. So, alright, you guys. This has been such a fun chat. I was talking to one of my friends who listens to this podcast yesterday, and one of my friends, they were telling me that this podcast means a lot to them, and I want to tell you all very sincerely that this podcast also means a lot to me. I just wanted to reiterate this. I know I joke a lot about how it's very lax and I try to not be too serious about it, which is true, but it does mean a lot to me, and I think that having this outlet to talk to you all and to have, you know, people responding to me and replying to me, even, you know, if it's like a personal message or like a DM or something, that's really very special to me, and I can't necessarily even like put it into words, and I know that's shocking because all I do is talk. Yeah, so it is very special to me that you all listen to this, and I appreciate you all being here, and I find it like an extra added bonus that this podcast would mean anything to anyone. So if this podcast means something to you, I am so happy, and I hope that it continues to mean something to you. Although I don't necessarily know why, because it's like literally the most thrown together thing. Like but sorry, I'm literally the worst at like being serious sometimes. But you know what I mean. Come on. Like, we're just here to have a chat. Let's be honest. Alright, people. I'm going to have a beverage and live my life. It's almost 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, or Friday night. And probably going to take a shower. Probably going to live my life. Probably going to go to bed at like a ripe 9:30 perhaps. I don't know. How late am I going to stay up? 10:30? Ooh. Okie dokie, people. This has been another episode of the Paper Soprano podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you can go ahead and subscribe if you feel so compelled. Obviously, no pressure. But if you want to, you can leave me a comment. You can go over and watch Felix's video. I highly recommend. You can leave a like. All of those things would make me very happy. Alrighty, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Okay? Alright, love you, mean it. Bye!